Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. 1. Team Wilder says Eddie Hearn offered up an April 13th, 2019 date to fight Joshua. Stay tuned. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest of boxing if you want to become part of the gang notification gang. Please hit the bell icon. Shout out to the super chat channel donations, the Venmo donations, and the Patreon family. We working. Frankly, I'm getting tired of talking about this saga. Joshua is not fighting Deontay Wilder next. Shout out to worldboxingnews.net, link in the description. Co-manager of Deontay Wilder, Shelly Finkel, had some things to say. He said he got an email from Eddie Hearn himself, and it says, "Today I got a letter. We're not going to fight you next, but we'll fight you the fight after that, and it will be April 13th, 2019 at Wembley Stadium." So basically, he could tell me next year, but he can't tell me a date for this year. I never said to Eddie Hearn I would be sending back comments. I wrote to him saying I'm sending back the contract, and he knows the contract would have been signed. That's why today, all of a sudden, the WBA have turned around and given 24 hours. So he's saying it's basically obvious they didn't want to fight us. Joshua said on TV that I will fight him next. He's not fighting us next. He also said, "I swear, if Team Wilder offers me $50 million, I'll take the fight tomorrow." Well, we got him the $50 million and he still didn't take it. In fact, they sent us an offer, which is a flat fee of $15 million with a rematch clause, which we accepted, and then a date of September 15th at Wembley, which they knew was the date for Canelo's fight. So they never had any intention of doing it. How can you go the same day as Canelo Alvarez? They are fighting Povetkin on a later date, so why couldn't they offer that date to us? I asked them on Sunday what date and what venue, and they wouldn't tell us because they never wanted to do this fight. I know they can't come out and say we don't want the fight, he's dangerous, but they are saying they want it and then putting up every barrier they can to stop it. End quote. That's from co-manager. Listen, I've already said my opinion. This whole thing is a mess. Frankly, I'm getting tired of talking about it, but I have to agree with the Wilder side in this matter. It seems like the goalposts constantly shifting, and it's not just what I'm hearing from Team Wilder's side. It's actually more of why I agree with Wilder's side is what I'm hearing from Team Joshua's side, because it's contradictions. It's riddled with contradictions, hypocritical statements, loopholes, things changing, stuff like that. Like, there's just so many things. It's like I'd have to write a book about this. For example, how come they never offered Alexander Povetkin step aside money? Say, hey, we'll get you next, but we got this Joshua Wilder fight we're working on. Like, I've never even heard the notion of step aside money being offered, right? This has happened. I remember Triple G had to pay Cotto had to pay Triple G step aside money, or was supposed to pay Triple G step aside money because he was the mandatory in order to fight Canelo Alvarez, right? This is something that's common practice. Luis Ortiz was supposed to get a Wilder fight. Bermane Stiverne was the mandatory for Wilder. Bermane Stiverne didn't want to step out of the way, so he was willing to pay him step aside money to fight Ortiz. Now, the only reason he didn't have to do that is because he fought Stiverne in a rematch, because Luis Ortiz failed a drug test, so they had to investigate, and it wasn't not enough time to investigate and keep the fight going. But step aside money is something that's always been considered when you don't want to have to fight somebody, right? So if Team Joshua really and truly wanted to fight with Wilder, how come the idea of step aside money has never been admitted? And it just sounds like a pride thing, like Shelly Finkel was saying. I know they can't come out and just say we don't want the fight, he's dangerous, but they're putting up every barrier and block to stop it, which is true. It's like nonstop. According to Finkel, they said September 15th at Wembley, But we all know, the world knows the Mexican dates. That's Mexican Independence Day weekend. And we know Canelo's eligible to fight in mid-August, and he's fighting Golovkin. That's been announced. It's been a thing. So the week after, Joshua's going to fight Povetkin. So why couldn't the week after it be the Wilder fight? You know? None of these things make sense, and just the constant contradictions. 1 minute Eddie Hearn says that Joshua will come to America for a Klitschko rematch in Vegas. Joshua says to DBN he's down to come to Vegas for a Klitschko. Then you hear an interview with Eddie Hearn. He says if Gerald Big Baby Miller looks good in his next fight with Johan Duhaupas, then they'll come to the Barclays for him. And then Joshua, he says, after the Takam fight, what do the fans want? I'll fight where the fans want me to fight. And then after the Parker fight, he says, no, he don't want to come to America. UK fighters always have to travel. He wants it right here. You know, I don't want to go to America. So what about all that stuff Eddie Hearn said? What about you were coming to America for Klitschko? Why can you come to America for Klitschko in Vegas or the backyard of Gerald Miller in Brooklyn, but then you can't fight in Brooklyn or Vegas for Deontay Wilder? Gerald Miller had no belt. He has no belt. Klitschko at the time had no belt because he lost to Tyson Fury. None of this stuff adds up. So I feel what Shelly Finkel's saying. I understand where Wilder's coming from. And you have all these fans talking about why did it take Wilder's side 4 weeks to discuss and sign. They're probably mulling over the offer because he was getting lowballed. They said in this article, he reveals, Shelly Finkel, that it was another flat fee of $15 million. How come Joseph Parker didn't get a flat fee? Wilder was a longer standing champion. He in fact was a champion before Anthony Joshua was a champion. And Joshua was a champion before Joseph Parker was a champion. And Joseph Parker fought for a vacant belt that was freed up based on Tyson Fury. Wilder earned his belt by beating Bermane Stiverne and hurting him in I think in the first round, right? And he's had several title defenses, and he's known as a threat and the strongest guy or the most powerful guy in the division. So why did Joseph Parker get some sort of a split in the money? But then even in the counter offer from Matchroom, they're only giving him $15 million because once again, they're giving him numbers they don't want the fight, so they're not expecting him to accept $12.5 million. And then you increase it to $15 million. You didn't think he was going to take it. You didn't think they were going to come up with the $50 million. So it's like you thought you had built-in excuses lined up, and like Wilder said, he's trying to smoke you out. So the truth is coming out. That's why you have to see a new excuse. Now, conveniently, a day after they say they're going to get the contract back to you, the WBA, right, is ordering that you have to fight Povetkin and agree to it within 24 hours, which is fucking ludicrous and unheard of. When is that? That's how you know it's bad. And this is how you know they got smoked out. Because when have you ever seen a sanctioning body put a 24-hour deadline? No purse bid, no nothing. You know, when you're in the middle of public negotiations that we all know of, in a bigger fight with Joshua Wilder. It's just, you never heard of it. So it's like they got smoked out, period. Let me know what you guys think. Link in the description. Make sure you smash the like button as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.